Okay. Alrighty there. Well, it looks as if we are live, Daphne.
Hey,
And how are you doing?
I'm fantabulous. How are you?
I'm good. Let me turn you up a little bit. Hopefully we don't get any echo. How do I sound to you?
Fine,
Okay.
clear,
And how do I look to you?
clear,
Okay.
clear,
Excellent.
clean, and crisp.
All right. Well, I'm excited because as you know, we love to watch content and we love to have lengthy conversations about the content.
Yeah,
And as you know, I am not a fan of holiday films,
so same.
whereas you are the queen of the Hallmark genre,
I
correct?
love them.
Yes, you love them. So this in and of itself is a very interesting place to be in because we decided that we were going to watch a few holiday films this season and
Mhm.
then offer some commentary. So the first film on that slate is Netflix's Meet Me Next Christmas, starring what's her name? Christina Milian.
Christina,
Milian
Christina
and
Milian.
all Ellis. Is that his last name?
Yes.
And Kofi, however you say his name.
Oh, Kofi.
Well, everybody know Kofi. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
We
So
don't need to say his last name. They
okay.
know.
So before we get going, what is your snack of choice today?
My snack of choice, because I'm really hungry for my lunch, but we're doing this right now, so I guess
Right.
I'll be having dinner.
Okay.
So my snack of choice is the snack bar, step up to the snack bar mix from Trader Joe's. It has a mix of different nuts and things in there, crackers and whatnot. And it's my favorite one. And Trader Joe's and their seasonal items. I don't know how you have a season of items when a season is 2 weeks. But anyways,
Right.
that's my snack. What's your
So
snack?
what's funny is I was in there today and I saw a jingle jangle something, and I
Mm.
said, "Oh, I wonder if Daphne's seen this jingle jangle because I know how much you like that dang jingle jangle."
Did did I have the jingle jangle? Are you confusing me with somebody else?
All right, so I'm moving on. My snack of choice.
Don't do that. Do not.
My snack of choice are the Trader Joe's candy cane JoJo's. And let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. Anywho,
Lift it up some more. There, that's better.
okay.
Okay.
These are pretty good. I mean, I don't know why she copying me by having Trader Joe's snacks available.
Anyways,
I don't know what that's about. But without further ado,
does it taste pepperminty?
it does, but it has. Well, wait,
Like a
we can't get too involved in the
okay.
snacks because
All
you know
right.
we can go with the snacks. I'm not even going to do that. Anyhow, back to the task at hand here.
Okay.
So the film that we watched is Meet Me Next
Meet me next Christmas.
on Netflix. And so everyone knows we've watched the film. There are going to be spoilers. All right. We are going to talk about
If you have
everything
not
in the
watched
film.
this and you do not want spoilers,
No, keep the stream going
keep
and
the
just
stream go. Close your ears or something.
all right. So anyhow, I'm going to read to you on the IMDb page what this premise is. All right. So
Hmm.
the premise says that in pursuit of a fairy tale romance with the man of her dreams,
Hmm.
Layla must race through New York City to get her hands on the hottest ticket in town, the sold out Pentatonix Christmas Eve concert. So that's the
Oh my.
tease that they give us for
Hmm.
this film. Um, Before we get going, because I figured we should start at the end before we get to the beginning and get there.
Hmm.
What is your overall rating of the film? And then that will inform, I guess, what it is that we do and talk about.
Okay, so folks, we're going with a five,
And
a rating of
yes,
five.
1 out of 5.
I'm giving it a three. I was gonna say 2.5,
Okay.
but I'm giving it a three.
Okay.
Three
And
out of five.
I don't think you're going to be able to see it. I don't think it depends on what happens up here, but I am giving it 2 in our rating system today. Are candy canes. All right. So I'm giving it 2 candy canes, even though I really want to be 1.5 candy canes. And Daphne's giving it 3 candy canes, although she wants to be at 2.5 candy canes. So here we are talking about this stuff. So okay, so we'll give that was the overview of what the synopsis is. And here we are with a little bit of a recap before we go in depth. So the film the film opens up like it typically does of a holiday film, giving you all of these scenic views and making you long for that time of year. And we see this woman, Christina, as she is rushing about her day. And it looks like she's in a really good mood. And her mood is soured by the fact that there are delays for her travel. After she has to spend some time at the airport, she meets this mystery man and has a really nice conversation with him that becomes a little flirtatious as they sit there for a few hours. Um, Once they decide, well, I'm sorry, he then has to depart sooner than her after the delays. They make this pact with one another that in the event that they are single a year from this particular date, that they would meet up at a Pentatonix concert. And that kicks off the action of this film. So here we see for the rest of the film is the transition from a woman who starts the film attached. And then early on, there's a situation that happens, and she finds herself no longer attached. And as she's sort of, I guess, commiserating the idea of being alone during this time of year, she remembers, because it's almost a year from that date, she remembers that she had made this pact with this mystery man at the airport lounge. And she decides that it is her goal in life to find this man because he can be her person, as she references him. And what then ensues is a series of adventures because the concert is sold out, but she is so determined to get to this concert that she goes through all of these different changes. I'll keep that a little open-ended without giving too much detail at this particular moment, to find her way to this concert, because again, she wants to meet the man of her dreams, this mystery man that she met at the airport. Mind you, this is one of the funny things. She didn't know the man's dang full name when she parted ways with him, but that's funny that you'll get when you take the time to watch the film. So that's sort of an overview recap. I'm trying not to fill in too many details for those of you who plan to watch the film, so there can still be some element of surprise. But for those who have watched the film, you know that that sort of is much of what the film is. And so what also happens is, because it's a holiday film and it's a rom-com based holiday film, you will see her fall in love with someone. I will leave that to your imagination at this particular time. Or actually more that'll come out when we talk about this in further detail. Eventually, the moment comes where both parties involved realize that they have stronger feelings for each other than when they started spending time with one another. And we finally get to the moment where there's the reveal of the love, mutual love for each other, and the film comes to a close. So that's the best way I can sort of recap the film without going into the greatest amount of detail. But as I said, more detail will come in as we talk about it further. So that's sort of the recap. Now, I think the first thing that we should do, because you know this is what I do well, I want you to tell me 3 things that you liked least in this.
Oh, we're gonna start with the least. Okay.
Yeah. Let's just, so we can end on a more positive note, if you will, right?
Look at you being.
Unless you'd rather start with
you being kind. He hates.
Well, wait till I start talking.
Oh dear. 3 things I liked least.
Yes, I can't wait to hear this.
I have a few things. I took notes.
Okay, me too.
So that I could recall as we were going to be having this conversation.
Okay.
I don't know where to start.
Okay.
Okay. One thing that I liked least, here's the first one that I'm going to go to. That is the very first. Oh, no. This is going to be a simple one. One thing that I liked least was that the Christina Milian's character, what is the character's name?
Layla,
thank you. Layla's boyfriend, when we meet him via phone, and she calls his name.
Okay.
Tanner.
That was his name?
His name was Tanner.
I must have
now,
blanked out.
you know, we we have various names as a people in the community. So
Mhm.
I mean, there's Black people named Tanner, but it just Tanner wasn't sitting right in my spirit for that man.
Mhm.
I did not like that his name was Tanner.
Okay.
That's one.
They were
Nice and
trying
simple.
to attract a diverse audience, perhaps.
But perhaps. But I
Mhm.
absolutely did not like that the man's name was Tanner.
Okay.
Um the second thing that I did not like, or
Okay.
that I liked least, was I was the very first scene with Pentatonix in it, asking their I don't know if she's their road manager, whoever,
Mhm. Mhm.
about their friends and family tickets.
Mhm.
I don't know if any of them are actors,
Mhm.
but that's the way that scene went. Just I was annoyed by all of them, and
Okay.
I like Pentatonix as a group.
Mhm.
They sound great, but
Mhm.
that something about that scene got under my skin.
Okay.
As it went on, it was better, or maybe I got used to it, or now that set the groundwork, the framework for me to know like for what to expect
Okay.
later on. And the last thing that I liked least, or since you said three, even though I have more, uh, is going to be, why in the world
Okay.
is Layla trying to get backstage for Teddy? Girl, you got a whole ticket. You have a whole ticketed seat. Why, in God's name, was you at that back door trying to get backstage? Go get inside to your seat, and then you could be like, "Hey, yo, Teddy, something." Why? Why? And I mean, she was there a long time trying. Boy, that was really very annoying for me. I really liked that least.
Okay. Well, I'm mad because you stole my thunder
Oh,
because that is my number three. My
woo,
number three was what the crap is she doing at trying to get backstage? Okay, so one attempt to get backstage, that's fine. But
yes,
all of you need to let me
on
in.
and on
This is
and
who
on.
I am. Do I need to as you stated, you have a ticket. You were already inside for a second. Why not go back inside as opposed to
Go in
yeah, go in instead
with
of
your
always
tickets.
with the stuff that you're doing, okay? Because it was just a waste of time, and I think that
Well
it
done.
took away from the moment. I thought it really took away from the
Absolutely,
moment. Okay.
absolutely.
My second, and that was my third. That was my third. I'm going
Okay,
from three
three,
to
three, two,
number
one.
one. All right. So number two was Pentatonix acting overall. You know what? They reminded me of like little kids, and I'm coming from the old school. They're supposed to be seen and not heard.
Mhm,
There's certain
mhm.
people who should either do what your real skill is as opposed to acting. All right.
Yes,
You people
yes,
sing, you don't act. I don't ever want to see you people recite a piece of dialogue ever, ever, ever,
yes.
ever again. There should be fines for the crimes that are committed by that acting. No, seriously, it was. I'm gonna go a little harder than you're gonna go.
Yeah,
There were
you are.
crimes. There were crimes committed. All right. The number one thing for me the number one thing in my stuff is like general more as opposed to being specific like yours. But the number one thing that I like least were the adventures that we see them go through. Not James, I'm so sorry, Teddy and Layla.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
In theory, I think that the setups were supposed to be funny,
Mhm.
but as we watched each setup play out,
Ugh.
you, I was waiting for the funny to happen.
Mhm.
The funny never came for me.
It
So
didn't.
then I had this struggle, this internal tug of war of did they not really want this to be funny? Like, did they not know how to make it funny? I was confused about sort of the overall approach to how they were positioning the adventures because again, I could see where it was supposed to be funny, but
It didn't quite make it.
I didn't make it at all. It didn't
Yeah.
make it at all. I know you said you had a few more things, but because as you know, I can go a little harsh at times. I didn't want to spend a lot of time
Thank you. Yeah.
doing that. All right, so
Let's not.
I would like for you. No, no, no. I'm gonna start with the things that I liked. Okay, so we'll
Okay,
flip.
go ahead.
All right, so so let me say this: My rating is a 2, y'all. All right, I already said that. So this film was a damn struggle to watch. About 20 minutes into this, I really wanted to turn the thing off, but because I had committed to us having this conversation, I said, let me try to
You
persevere.
powered through. You
Yeah, I'm
powered
gonna
through.
power through and see it out. And let me tell you, that was a struggle. There were so many things in the setup of this film that just felt like, okay, I don't want I want to say something, but I'm gonna come back around to it. All right, so let me start with the third thing that I kind of liked. So
Mhm.
my thing that I like the most is that the director made a cameo in the film.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
enjoyed seeing
I
that, and
like
because I
that.
knew who he was and what he looked like
Mhm.
immediately when he popped up on the screen, I said,
Yep.
okay, that's a cool
Same.
moment to bring that in.
Mhm.
That was my third. My second word thing is, I'm sorry, the Pentatonix vocals. I mean, pristine, crazy, killing it every
Yep.
time they sang. I mean, even the stuff that they did live as opposed to the
Mhm.
stuff that was the pre-record later on
Yeah.
for the performances,
Mhm.
crazy, absolutely
Yep.
crazy. And my thing that I also like the most about the film is when it was over. No, like for real. You know how you tired when you out of the house and then you perk up when you get home? That was the same feeling that I got like when the film was over. I was
Oh my
listening to it,
gosh.
was like, oh man, suddenly I got a second win. I was ready to go do a little something, something. It just the atmosphere changed entirely.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I'm serious though.
I know that you are serious. Okay, things that I liked most.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with because I have a few things. They're small things, just like I had several more than three for the things I liked least. I have a few more
Got
for
it.
the things that I liked most. And let's see, what am I going to say? I'll start with the Pentatonix tour manager lady. Her
Uh-huh.
reaction to them every time was so funny to me.
Okay.
I enjoyed her just like, yeah, why y'all doing this? Stop. Can you talk regular, please?
Uh-huh.
So that gave me a little giggle. Um, what I liked also was the Christmas decorations in the airport
Okay.
and throughout the movie. Like I feel like the lights. I have a thing for the lights, so I think that in particular the airport, but in other spaces, I really liked what they did decoration wise and on the Christmas bike taxi thing.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was really cute. And oh man, okay. So the other thing that I liked was, which was kind of funny to me, Jordy and Teddy's little handshake.
Oh,
I
the
thought
handshake.
that was funny and cute. And I need to throw in this honorable mention.
Go ahead.
The lady in the was it the Chanel store or Louis Vuitton, Chanel, whatever store they
No.
were, Chanel.
Uh-huh.
When
You
the
better
lady
not see that old lady.
Yes, but not the old lady overall. The old lady when she clowned Devale. I mean, what's his Teddy
Uh-huh.
saying she don't take advice from a youth pastor because his house. And I said, oh, his outfit does look like a youth pastor.
All right. I
That
might I
just
think I
that part
chuckled at that.
only gave me a chuckle.
Okay. I did chuckle at that a little bit. I think I was waiting for the moment to happen at the Chanel store. So when you bring that up as like one of your likable moments in the film, I'm like, it's kind of interesting that the stuff that we liked is so small by
So
comparison
small.
to what you feel like you should get from a film because there were things that were just missing. There were just things missing in this film, and I
But
don't
can
know
I
how they
say
got it
this?
wrong.
I want to
Um,
say this. Looking
okay,
at it, like you said, for as far as like a film goes, to me
yeah,
it was looking like a film, and then certain spaces it looked like switched to like this is a TV show.
really,
In certain scenes,
okay.
it would have been better suited in a TV show format rather than the film format that we were seeing it in.
Okay. I didn't get that. I think that's because I was sort of disconnected from the story just a little bit. And I kept waiting for something to sort of kick into overdrive because I can honestly say I thought for the first 30 minutes that Christina's acting was very sleepy.
So sleepy. Oh my
I
god.
yeah, I don't feel like she's the strongest performer. I can't even talk. The strongest performer overall, but there was something just dead about what it is that she was doing. So when he sort of
Agreed.
pops up, um, the Teddy character. I could see that maybe they were trying to juxtapose that so that he
Mm-hmm.
could have a little bit more energy and be brighter. And
Yeah.
she's the mopey one, but
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like they didn't make strong choices about what they needed to do, I guess, so they could show the evolution of
Mm-hmm.
the characters.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I don't know if it was for me, I wouldn't say that she was being mopey. I felt like they were trying to mature her, like make her more I'm a businesswoman, mature. Boo, boo, boo.
oh, that was your
That's
read on. Okay,
that
maybe,
was my read on that. It like I'm a mature businesswoman and I'm doing this important work. And so it's like she kind of like took her voice down a little bit.
you probably
And
got it.
that was my read on that. And then it was just like, here's the Teddy character, like you said, who's a little bit more up and jovial and
Hmm.
carefree and light-ish. And then
Hmm.
James, I think they tried to make him in the airport meet her. I'm mature and I'm sleek and I'm debonair and I have
Hmm.
this important work and I have on this suit and my trench coat. So they were trying to match
Yeah,
that.
I can see that now. I feel like I needed somebody to point me in the right direction because for me, I didn't get that read on it while I was
Mhm.
watching the film. But I think that's because of the choices that were made. And some things have to slip through the cracks when you're watching a film.
Mhm.
But the storytelling just wasn't strong. And even knowing that in a holiday film, there are going to be a lot of cliche things that happen, a lot of familiar tropes that happen. It just felt like the writing was so, can I use the word lazy? Or do you think lazy is, it was very pedestrian. It was almost like there wasn't great thought put into how I can make this one fun, make
Mhm.
it make sense, and make it entertaining.
Okay.
It was almost as if they were trusting that they had some belief that the two of them had chemistry
Mhm.
and that these setups were going to be so entertaining that
Mhm.
you would forget that there were things that happened in the film to me that didn't add up. In fact, that's what I want to segue to next. I want to talk about some of the stuff that just didn't make any sense because that's the stuff that typically stands out to me. So I want
Mhm.
to start with this one. He's basically like almost on probation at work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. That's a nice little pressure cooker thing there, right?
Mhm.
If he's gone all damn day out of the office, she hasn't checked in once on him, and she's basically saying, yo, you need to get this thing right, because if you don't get this thing right, I'm going to have to make some hard decisions here. I found that to be one of those things, like it's so simple to get a
Mhm.
text message, a phone call, an email to again add more pressure to the situation for that character. So I thought that
Yeah.
was a loose end that should have been
Mhm.
tied up. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, same. I agree. And yeah, I think there could have been a bit more checking in from his boss with
Hmm.
that. And also another loose end in the same vein with him texting or whatever, all these people doing his concierge work,
Yeah.
trying to locate these tickets.
Hmm.
It wasn't enough there for me.
It was
And
very
then,
vague.
hmm?
It was vague.
It was vague. And then Pentatonix following the story on Instagram. Well, we never
Hmm.
saw anything on the Instagram that they were following to
Hmm.
make them get so invested in like, oh, she should be with this one. No, she should be with that one. Like, look at what's happening. He sent us all these DMs and like, well, now let's try and locate a ticket. So I wish we would have seen some more like send the DMs of the IG stories, like put that on the screen
Yeah.
or something. So we didn't see those. Those were other loose ends there that you mentioned that.
I wonder, since you brought that up, I wonder if the idea of using social media for them to track the story so that they could use that as a plot point later on, if that was
Mhm.
sort of an afterthought. Because what it made me think of is, of course, you introduced me to the Gabby and what's his name thing on TikTok.
Oh yes.
It
Hmm.
made me think of that. I think that this would have been a more fun story if it was told more through the lens of Pentatonix tracking this in this way.
It would have been so good.
So it's like they brought them in, but every time they reference the idea, like we're the DMs were reading them. I think that if they had changed the perspective just a little bit more, it would have been
Mm-hmm.
far more entertaining to
Yep.
watch them be bumbling idiots as they're trying to find their way around town and get
Yeah.
this freaking ticket.
Yep.
Okay,
Agreed.
so here's another thing that I was really annoyed by. It was the camera blocking for a lot of the scenes. So the one that stood out to me is he cooks the food for Roxy and
Layla.
Layla. Who comes over to the couch and bends over to do but you can see why they did everything, because then you have a line, ooh, and you
Ooh,
got arms.
look at them arms right there. Oh, you need to be cooking. What you doing? Cooking with them arms.
Okay, so that irritated me because again, it happened multiple times in the film where I was thinking to myself, Rusty, what are you doing? This is not the way you should be blocking this, just so
Yeah.
you can get that one little moment that I guess you are determined to get, as opposed to it looking more natural. It was just bizarre to me.
Yeah.
But that was one of the ones that stood out to me. Okay, so here's another one that irritated me, and it's connected. It's two. Don't she have a damn job?
Listen, I guess she was off for the
Okay,
holidays, so
but
she
that's
could,
part one. Daphne,
so
that's
she could
part one of
find
it.
the tickets.
Part two of that is this. I know that you gain some comfort when you connect with somebody that you spend some time with for a couple of hours,
Mm-hmm.
but you decided that you felt comfortable enough to not only go to this people's house, but you just stayed over, didn't give
No.
any thought to your safety. I mean, maybe I'm going a little too deep with it, but I thought that was a strange choice to make, that a person that you've known for maybe less than 24 hours at this
Uh-huh.
point, you have made this life-threatening decision to be like, okay.
Life threatening.
I mean, when you really think about it, come on now. Come on. That's all I'm saying.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So I found that was another one of my things that I found just odd. Why would you make that choice? Again, it needs to make sense. No matter what
Mhm.
choice you make, it needs to make sense to me when I'm watching something. And I struggled with that as I was watching a
But
lot
see,
of.
that's why you're the holiday movie and movie with Grinch,
Yes,
because
I am the holiday movie.
everything needs to make sense to you. I think the fun of the Christmas movies is the
Is
Christmas holiday magic, the cheesy stuff that happens. Like it's the fun of it and the cutesiness of it. But in the holiday films, like and TV shows, not everything needs to make sense for me, because I'm just like, okay. But sometimes if they're just huge glaring things that I'm like, now y'all come on now. Like
dope.
like her banging on the door trying to get backstage when she had a long ticket to go through the front entrance.
All I'm going to say is some of the stuff that I'm highlighting, those are glaring things. And I understand the magic of Christmas in a holiday film. I'm looking for the magic of Christmas. What I'm saying is, I think
And the
that,
cheesiness.
and the cheesiness, but now I feel as if because this genre is so massive that people are taking shortcuts and they're not really investing in, how do I create a magical moment for
Of
these characters?
how to
Because
get to it, laying
yeah,
the
you
track.
are setting up this story for me. You have to play within the rules that you have set up for me. It's not my responsibility. That's all I'm saying. I just still think that it's
All
a
right,
bit
I go
odd.
with you on that.
Some chick is sleeping over with nah. Like I need to understand why you just this comfortable. That was just a weird one for me.
Mhm.
I also found it weird that it seemed like he only had one client.
Yeah, that was also very weird. And for the boss to be like, this is the one that you need to focus on, like this is it for you right here. So then it's, why is that? There should have been a little, maybe a conflict with another person begging for his attention for his duties with the concierging that he does.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question that's kind of related to this film, but not entirely unrelated. Because for me, what also made me sort of get more nitpicky with the film is it reminded me of a movie starring Marissa Tomei and Robert Downey Jr. called Only You. And it's a similar
Oh,
setup. Oh, you remember seeing that?
No, I remember the movie, but I was going to say it reminded me of something else. But go ahead.
Okay, so it's a similar setup in that there are a woman is determined. She believes destiny looks a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
And so she basically has, and that is I can't talk, Lord have mercy. Marissa Tomei's character, and Robert Downey Jr. is going around with her as she is exploring, trying to make sure that everything is falling into place as it should for this moment that she's been waiting to happen since she was a kid. And it is during all of this that magic happens between these two characters. And eventually they both realize that they are meant for each other. That those components are the things that Meet Me Next Christmas reminded me of in Only
Mm-hmm.
You. So when I'm thinking about a film that I think that's done well, when you use a similar setup, that's a film for me that was done incredibly well, where I was rooting for her to stop being a dingbat. I was rooting for them because there was chemistry that I saw between the
Mm-hmm.
two characters as they were on these adventures together. And I think that speaks to what I'm saying in regards to when I look back on what we watched in Meet Me Next Christmas. Did you guys do the work to make me feel like there's chemistry? Because that was the other thing. The switch went on really quickly for both of them. It was being
Mm-hmm.
played like we're in the friend zone, and then it
Mm-hmm.
went from friend zone to, I guess there were all of the feels in like from one scene to the other, but I didn't necessarily see a build up to that particular moment. So I thought that that was another, I don't know if that was a writing thing or if that was a directing thing
Mm-hmm.
that was the cause for that. That I just didn't feel the magic happen progressively that made me buy into it. Again, whether it's romantic magic or if it's the holiday spirit magic, those are the elements for me that made the film suspect in their
Mm-hmm.
presentation of this rom-com or this romance.
I got you on that. And also, I thought what was interesting was that, and I guess it's because I'm a person who remembers faces very well, and I'll,
I
search
know where you're
through.
going.
Uh huh.
Where you're going.
Why in the world did neither of them go, oh, met you at the airport last year, you spilled the things, the cups, bowls, whatever they were? Why did it take them till almost the end of the movie to go, oh,
Okay,
here it
so
is?
that's what I'm saying about, I think, again, was this a writing thing or was this a directing thing? I have to put this on the director, because why were you so committed to that moment in the kitchen, Rusty, when it should have been obvious from something that happened earlier that I'm going to touch on? When she mentioned, when he became aware of the fact that she was chasing after a dude that she met at the airport, that should have been the thing, because he cycled through all of these other places. I know your face from somewhere. When
Mm-hmm.
she brings up the airport, that
Uh-huh.
should have been his clue to say, I wonder if I've been at the airport. So that's what irritated me about the extension of it until we got to that moment. I'm like, okay, it's obvious it was going to be a moment, but y'all took this amount of time to
It
get
was
there.
way too long.
And it wasn't even like, again, the magic that
Yeah,
you're talking about. The magic
that
wasn't
missed
there.
the
The
magic mark.
corniness, the cheesiness, it wasn't there.
It missed the magic mark for that completely. And so the movie I was going to say that it had elements of that it was reminding me of was the movie Serendipity
I don't
with
remember that.
um oh gosh, who's in it? Kate. Uh, Kate something, and is I think John Cusack.
Oh, Beckinsdale, I think.
Kate Beckinsale
Yeah.
and John Cusack. And I
Okay.
don't remember where it is that they meet, maybe at a bookstore or something, because it involves a book. And they were
Uh-huh.
like, also like didn't exchange last names. Social media was not a thing when Serendipity was out. But they were like, I'm gonna write my name and number in this book and put it at this bookstore. And you know, but fate will lead if we're supposed to be there, because it was a similar thing. I think Kate's character was in a relationship. I think he was as well, or
Mhm.
something. But all of these things happen. Now, there's no other person that either of them are like going around town, going through adventures with. Um, Kate's character, I think later, her friend is like trying to help her do something with the book. Like there were different things of in terms of fate and signs that were like leading her to this person. She had this encounter with X amount of years ago, and now here we are, and they end up finding each other again. So some of those elements, I was like, oh, look, serendipity.
Dang, I wish I remembered more about that film. I know I saw it, but
Yeah.
I would imagine that it's similar for you, what it is for me with Only You. Like, it's a setup
Hmm.
that was done better in that
Yeah.
framework than it was for this, because I think
Hmm.
that's what led me to give this a 2. And I'm being generous. It really was like a 1.5 star, because there were so many things that were lacking. I thought that the acting overall wasn't that strong. I thought one of the things that I always have appreciated in the last like 5 to 10 years is like when Black people are on screen, they look beautiful. I don't even think that they lit this film properly so that they would all look incredibly well in every scene. I thought that there were a
Hmm.
couple of moments where they look good, and then a couple of moments where you're kind of like,
Kind of
okay,
dark a little bit.
yeah, like the DP did not do his thing in regards to the setup for this. Like, even when she gets dolled up, I don't know about you, but I didn't
Yeah, I felt
feel
like
the
I couldn't
moment.
see her.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I couldn't see her, like you say, when they got dressed up for their performance to win these tickets.
I'm gonna go there next, and then we're gonna wrap up this. I want to keep talking
But
about
yeah,
this, but
yeah, like I agree. Like in some spots, it was just like, oh, I kind of can't. Like I wanted to turn up the brightness.
okay. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the performance, and then I'm gonna touch on something
After
else, and then I'm
you
done.
leaving me to eat my snacks by myself, I'm tearing up my snacks, and you
That's
ain't ate nan cookie.
I did. You were talking, and I had a cookie. So I think you were referencing your notes. But anyhow, so the performance. Now, I understand that when someone is a performer and someone isn't a performer, it makes it a little more challenging to probably create or craft something. But the performance at the ball was pretty terrible. And again, I'm being kind in the terrible that we saw on display. The stiffness that I saw in the dancing and the gyrating is problematic. And I need people to not be forced into doing things that make them incredibly uncomfortable if they are that awkward looking when they perform. The second thing,
Question:
yes, what's your question?
Are you gonna give a separate rating to the performance scene? Uh, does the performance scene get its own rating?
Wait, what? That's the scene I'm talking about. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
no.
when they performed.
Are you gonna give that like separated and
Oh
give it its own
nah,
rating?
because all of it in the totality of it made the crap just like, again, it was hard. It was hard to watch. But before that, again, all of these setups that in theory I think were supposed to be funny. So
Hmm.
the cousin training them, I didn't find it laugh out loud funny. I found it like, oh, I know what you're trying to do. I
Yeah.
see why he's pushing as hard as he is to try to bring that kind of energy to this. But what I'm left is thinking, this isn't either written right or it's not constructed right. Now, the one thing I did laugh at in during this montage portion, when she did the turn and kneed him in the nuts, I was not expecting that the way that it played out. I will say that I laughed at that one. That one caught me by surprise because everything else was just like ho hum. And then the next thing you know, we had that moment. And so I definitely enjoyed that. But again, I think that there were so many missed opportunities in this film. Even if you left it as is, I think that there was a chance for them to change some things up in the writing. I think that the
Hmm.
director should have made some different choices in regards to how you connected all of those pieces. And I think that they needed to trim a few minutes from the film, because when I saw that it was an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm 20 minutes into it, I'm already bored to tears. I figured that I was going to struggle to see my way through. And sure enough, that was the case for me. And again, that's what informs my 2 candy cane rating in regards to this
Hmm.
film. It is not a film I would recommend. It's not a film that I would ever watch again. And it wasn't even bad to the point of being funny. And that's the thing that's irritating, is that you want
Oh,
something to be so bad it's good. And we didn't get so bad it's good. We got that's it. And that's unfortunate.
yeah, I hear you on that. I did laugh at the. It don't go like that. It one and two. Don't do it like that.
it was so over the top that again, I wanted to find a moment to really enjoy what was happening, but I just couldn't. I think at that point I was being a sourpuss because I said
Because
this
you were
ain't it.
over it.
Yeah, I really was. I mean, again, if I'm the holiday film Grinch, which I am, raising my hand, you got to do something better than what was presented to me. Okay, so I think that sort of wraps up a lot of what I feel comfortable talking about in public in regards to this film. I can't really go in as hard as I really want because I want to use
Kofi, don't do it.
I
Don't,
want to use some
please.
choice language in regards to certain things. But I will say, for those of you who have not seen the film, there's someone who's starring in the film who blink and you'll miss them, and I think that was foul that they did that.
Ooh, look, I'm like, did I blink and miss him?
Your friend Kofi.
Oh, yes, that was such a miss. The movie, in its trailers, in its log line, the description makes you think like, ooh, he's gonna be in it. And like you said, blink and you'll miss him. That should be my number one thing that I liked least. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see Kofi. I like little young Kofi. Hey, Kofi. But I'm just saying. He's a handsome young man. But when I'm looking at because I'm a sucker for a love story. So put a love story in Christmas, baby, I'm all in. Give it to me. I want to see it. I want it all. Kofi was not in it enough for me to really be like, why is he on the poster? Mm-hmm. He just shouldn't have been on there because I feel like I was being misled.
Yes,
I was being misled.
I was trying to say that without giving that spoiler away. I was trying to keep a little mystery for some of the people.
Sorry, no, you're talking about the things with me. I'm giving it all
right.
Away.
Fine. So basically, what I'm trying to say, y'all, if y'all watching that film to see Kofi, good luck to you.
Yeah, I won't say in the places that he's in since I've already given you that he wasn't in it enough. I'll just keep with that. He wasn't in it enough. There was not. I felt misled by the poster and the trailer, and I thought that would have been a really good, more like piece to the story as it was going on, for that to be like him thinking about it or seeing it, or not thinking about seeing this girl again and how this is going to go. I would have liked to have seen more of him, more of a story for that in this. Yeah. Otherwise, I think they just could have kept it just her and Devale and like put Layla and Teddy and put like the airport or something in the background, or a series of events or something to that effect.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. Well, anywho, I guess that does it again, because there's only so much that I would like to say in a respectful way publicly. So there's not much more that I can.
So proud of you in this moment, my friend. So proud of you in this moment. You kept it real cute. You kept it real cute.
Yeah, for this time. But when we do the next one. So anyway, I look forward to.
You gonna keep it cute then too?
I don't know. I look forward to having another breakdown session with you with another film. I'm going to let you pick whatever that film is going to be next.
Oh dear, okay.
For us, another holiday film.
There's so many.
Yeah, there are. And I think there was something else I was going to say to you. It made me lose my train of thought.
Don't be blaming me.
It's always you. It Stop. Is always you. Negative. But anyhow, on that note, until next time, friend, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to watch the film and have this very brief conversation with me. But when we get offline, I do have a couple of more things that I do want to say, and they will be a lot harsher than what it is I said. This
I know. Oh, this I know.
All right. I will see you soon.
All right.
And this is what I'm going to say. This is what I want to say. Again, I am the Holiday Film Grinch. And this film did not make me less of a holiday film Grinch. I need Netflix to come much better and stronger than this in the future.
How many Grinches do you give it?
Man, I would say, put me in a sour mood. I told you I wanted to turn I was about to cuss. I wanted to turn the crap I wanted to turn the crap off after 20 minutes. So for a Grinch, shoot, what's my rating? Is 1 like harsh or is 5 harsh? I wanted to give it like
Let's
a 4.
go 5 harsh, 5 Grinches for your harsh.
It would have got a 4. It would have got a 4. Yeah, it was a struggle. I mean, yeah. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. So until next time, we're going to pick this up with another film in the future. We will see y'all later.
Deuces on them.
Okay. I hit end stream. Wait, hold on. We still on for some reason.
We are still here.
I know.